General Secretary Karunagarajan ji, K.T. Raghavan ji, Sumati Venkatesh ji, members of the IT and Social Media Department and its President in Tamil Nadu, Shri Nirmal ji, and all office bearers and volunteers who have come for this program from all parts of Tamil Nadu. For me, unlike some other leaders who come from Delhi to experience Tamil culture, it is homecoming for me. The reason being, unlike most other people from Delhi, I have lived for the longest time in southern India, including Chennai. I have lived here, I have studied here, I have travelled here several times, so much so that my daughter's name has a Tamil origin. So unlike some other Delhi leaders who come here as tourists to experience the culture here, I have lived the Tamil culture. My familiarity with the language, my familiarity with the people of the state, the ethos of the state is as much as anyone who probably has spent his lifetime here. It is this rich culture and language of the state that is celebrated by every leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And it starts from none other than the Prime Minister, who in his address to the United Nations had invoked the great Indian poet Kanyan Pundularaj ji, who wrote in Tamil about 3,000 years ago, and he said, Yadum or Yavarum Kele, which means we belong to all places and to everyone. I just heard a leader from DMK say this morning that irrespective of the number of BJP leaders who keep coming to Tamil Nadu, the lotus will not bloom in the state. If you are so sure about the BJP not being present here, why should you even mention us? But if you are so bothered that your speech starts from the BJP and ends with the BJP, then you know what is happening in the state. The truth is that over the last many years that I have been visiting Tamil Nadu, it is perhaps now that I see a perceptible change in the state, and it is only a matter of time when the BJP will be the ruling party of the state, and will integrate it seamlessly with the rest of the country. And under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, the state will see unprecedented development. If you recall, Prime Minister Modi on several occasions has spoken fondly about his association with Tamil Nadu. So much so that at the heights of our standoff with China, and when Prime Minister went to Ladakh, he quoted none other than great Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar. And from the heights of Ladakh, giving a message to the world, he said that Shaurya, Samman, Maryada and Vishwasniyata are the attributes of any powerful nation's military. For him to remember the great saint and poet Thiruvalluvar at a moment when he was addressing the larger world audience and recounting India's adherence to Dharma speaks volumes of the oneness of this country. From Ladakh to Tamil Nadu, the message is one. And the Prime Minister chose to quote great Saint Thiruvalluvar to make his point. It's not limited to the fondness or the affection for the language and the culture. It goes much beyond that. After Prime Minister Modi took office, he has been consistently working for the well-being of Tamils, not just in Tamil Nadu, but across the world. You remember more than 50,000 houses were handed over by the Modi government in Jaffna to the Tamils there. Even recently, in his conversation with the Sri Lankan counterpart, he insisted on the 13th constitutional amendment to be held up and rights of the Tamil minorities to be taken care of in Sri Lanka. Whether it's the fishermen's issue or any such issue, the central government led by the Prime Minister has taken utmost care to ensure that the rights of the Tamil people are secured. He has taken great pride in the language and culture of the state and showcased them at the highest global forums. So when I hear some leaders from Delhi who are tourists not just to Tamil Nadu but this country also, they come sometimes to do their politics and then go away for a holiday. That same leader is in Coimbatore today. And he said, what does Prime Minister Modi and BJP know about the language and culture of Tamil Nadu? He just said this today. And that is why I have recounted to you several occasions where the BJP, the Prime Minister himself has spoken so fondly about the language, culture and people of Tamil Nadu. It is the same leader and his ally partner here in Tamil Nadu who wanted to ban Jallikattu when they were in power in Delhi, of which the DMK was a part. They were part of the conspiracy to finish a festival that is so dear to the people of Tamil Nadu, which is so intrinsic to the culture of Tamil Nadu. They wanted to ban it. The ban would have served two purposes. It would have all anyway killed the festivities around agriculture. It would have also finished the indigenous livestock on which our farmers depend. It would have obliterated the indigenous livestock and cattle that we have in our country. And who would it have benefited? Those people who want to import specimens from outside. Jallikattu is not just a celebration of harvest. It is also about rearing the best and the most resilient livestock. The DMK and the Congress wanted to kill it. They wanted to finish it. They want to finish everything that is indigenous, that is dharmic, that is Indian. Because their thinking is imported, their leaders are also imported now. But it was the BJP that stood for indigenous culture, for the practices of the state. We defended it. We defended it here in Tamil Nadu, we defended it in Delhi, we did everything possible, and today Jallikattu is possible and these tourists are coming to see Jallikattu from Milan and other places. It is only and only because the BJP supported it. We will always stand by everything that is inherently native to the state, to the pride of people of Tamil Nadu. We will never do anything that will hurt what is our culture, the Tamil culture. Then sitting in Delhi, I hear about a lot of manufactured controversies. Isn't it surprising that only when DMK leaders go through the airport in Chennai, somebody stops them and asks them to speak in Hindi? I mean, how can you make up such controversies? I don't understand. When the fact is, when the UPA was in power and T.R. Balu was the Minister for Surface and Road Transport, it was under his ministership and under Congress's government in center that the decision to name all national highways have signage in Hindi was introduced. It was the UPA that did it. It was T.R. Balu who signed it. And today, every time one DMK leader goes there, she suddenly is asked questions and asked to speak in Hindi. Even when I go through the airport, they never ask me to speak in Hindi. In fact, they don't ask me to speak at all. Why should CISF ask anybody to speak? Their job is to ensure security. You follow protocol, you will go through. Nobody asks you to speak in any language. So you cannot use the same card again and again and again and fool people. People of Tamil Nadu have seen through your designs. And I can tell you, I lived in Tamil Nadu at a time when the DMK was at its peak. Even then the people of Tamil Nadu were so warm and welcoming that their politics had very few takers. And now in this day and age of globalized living, they are trying to use issues that they probably came to power in the 70s. It's not going to work. They must realize it's not going to work. People are today looking at development. People are looking at inclusiveness. People are looking to integrate themselves with the bigger India's development story that is unfolding under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. And no one else other than the BJP alliance can ensure that for Tamil Nadu. There are several government schemes that the center has implemented which have touched crores of people in Tamil Nadu. Whether it is the Ayushman Bharat or Swachh Bharat, under which lakhs of toilets have been built in Tamil Nadu, which has given respectability to the women more importantly. I keep saying this again and again, Swachh Bharat is as much about respectability to women who have access to toilets now as it is about cleanliness. And we have to reiterate this point everywhere where we speak, on public forums, on social media and several other platforms. And no one else other than Prime Minister Modi would have had the sensitivity to look at cleanliness as part of women empowerment, as part of according respectability to women. Whether it is Jan Dhan Yojana, Stand Up India, Startup India, there are so many positive stories that have come out of Tamil Nadu, where people have benefited this program, made livelihoods, created employment. These are the stories that have to be taken to people. These are the stories that have to be told again and again and again, that development is an ongoing process. Development is something that has multiple dimensions, where the government is a facilitator and all of us have a role to play in that. And Prime Minister Modi's schemes are intended to empower the youth, the women, the old age, the pensioners, and just about every section of the society. And therefore, as members of the IT and social media department in Tamil Nadu, it is going to be our responsibility to take this message across to the people. And you would ask me why. The truth is that for the first time, Tamil Nadu is seeing a transition from a certain brand of politics to a more spiritual, more dharmic, more nationalist, more patriotic political formation, which is represented by all of us here in this room. We are the ones who are leading this change. We are the ones who are leading this transformation. And it takes a lot of effort to change minds of societies. But it is happening. And you are the ones who are leading this change. The history of Tamil Nadu's politics is written, and when they look at this phase of transformation, the role of all of you will be very, very important. Because remember, we don't just have political opponents, we also have ideological opponents. These ideological opponents are in the media, primarily, who dominate the discourse. They will not allow an alternate view to emerge. And therefore, as we take on our political opponents, we have to also pose a challenge to our ideological opponents, who perhaps are present in a large section in the media. Their narratives have to be challenged. A counter has to be put forth. And it can only and only happen through the social media. I see that there is a huge thrust of the native, Indic, right-wing, dharmic, call whatever you want to, narrative on social media. And we have to ensure that the power of it increases. I see young bloggers, writers,